Clothing seems to have a bigger impact on how we see politicians than people realize. The New York Times recently noted that Italy's first female prime minister, Giorgia Meloni's penchant, is for wearing Armani. The article says dress can be both, quote, both a strategic communications tool and a weapon. Now that is interesting. And to talk more about that, we bring in Nicole Brener-Schmitz, a Democratic strategist. I'm interested in that quote. It can be a weapon. How is dress a weapon?
Well, look, this is never something that we say about men, though, really. This is something that we are always dealing with as women is, are we dressing too masculine? Are we dressing too feminine? Or is it too expensive? This is something that we see put on women politicians over and over. So the idea that her dress is a weapon is, in fact, sort of a misogynist take on how she is looking and dressing. We do not see these articles run about male politicians.
I'm a bit confused about that because nobody pays attention to what men are wearing because men always wear the same thing. I wear a suit, and there was a guy in Virginia Beach that wore the same suit for a year, and nobody noticed because nobody's looking at men. And I kind of wonder. I sit next to a co-anchor who dresses incredibly every day, but it's like women have a lot more variation in their wardrobe than men. So doesn't it make sense that there would be more comments on the variations, whereas a dude wearing a penguin suit like myself is pretty boring?
Look, Mitch, I mean, men can wear the same suit every day. I'm sure you do change your tie up or maybe the color, but nobody pays attention. But it goes way beyond the clothes when it comes to women. Is her eyebrows too thin or thick? Is the color of her lips too dark? Is her hair too short? Is it too long? They're constant critiques of female politicians. How many stories have we seen about Kamala and Nancy Pelosi and about how much their wardrobe costs and what they're wearing? And we see different politicians take different tactics to this. We do see Vice President Harris often wearing that power suit to make sure that she's keeping just a consistency. We see Senator Elizabeth Warren does a basic black and throws a color of a sweater or a jacket on. The fact that we know these things is kind of silly, that this is something that's been written enough about, that these are facts that we know about these women politicians. I don't think there's anyone I respect more than Senator Sherrod Brown, but he has a rumpled suit and messy hair every day, and it doesn't matter at all. If a woman came out like that, it would be multiple stories in the New York Times. So this is something that women know they have to deal with. There's really no winning or losing. We see Senator Kristen Sinema take a different approach. She wears something extremely loud and sort of non-conforming to the DC norms whenever she has a big vote or a press conference or something she knows the cameras are going to be around. She wears a purple wig for an event.
Let me ask you this, because I do want to get one more question in before we have to go. Who is leading these discussions? Because to me, they take place in mainly female spaces because not only are men not noticed for their lack of wardrobe, a lot of time men are not talking about the wardrobes. So is this women talking about women, or do you feel like men get in on the act and contribute to this?
Well, I think both genders are contributing to it, but certainly there is an internalized misogyny that happens. And unfortunately, I think women are driving a lot of this critique that the first thing we notice or talk about a female politician is how she looked and not what she said. So this is something that we as women also have to look internally on ourselves and address that we are doing to our leadership, because the reality is that we need more women leaders across the globe, but certainly in Congress and in our Senate.
That is Nicole Brener-Schmitz. She's a Democratic strategist and discussing the politics of dressing with us. It's very interesting. Thank you very much, Nicole.
Thanks, Mitch.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.